She started a school last year. A lot of people, may want to get back into teaching or something. She wanted to start her own school, to seeing what was happening in some of the school systems.
She started her own school.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we'd had some conversations. I was dead set against homeschooling our children just because what I knew about homeschooling wasn't necessarily the best scenario, what I'd been exposed to anyway in my life. And, she did an incredible job explaining to me how it had evolved and what it evolved into. And, we really kind of put some of these public school systems under a microscope and watched what was happening in some of them. And I remember, I don't spend a lot of time on social media, but a buddy of mine sent me a video of this guy going to like a school board or county board meeting, and talking about a book his daughter had checked out of the library that talked about some crazy shit, some stuff that kids shouldn't be reading. And he was pissed, and I remember telling my wife, like, hey, I really need to pay attention to this because I know my temper and I know me well enough to know I'm not going to a school board meeting to talk to anybody. If something like that happens, there ain't going to be a whole lot of talking involved. And it just, I don't remember a lot from being a kid, but what I do remember is I was kind of hypersensitive to a lot of things. I remember being confused about a lot of things, and I feel like kids have enough to be worried about, especially with social media being what it is today. They have plenty to be confused about. I don't think they need any help with a lot of the things that they're being presented with, and that society in general seems to want to prioritize in children. So I have a strong disapproval of that, we'll say. And she wanted to create a school and an environment where kids are learning what we feel like is important to learn. So we have a lot of kids in our community also. She did her research and her homework and saw that, there are a lot of kids, and like every community, there's a lot of kids that have fallen behind. And a lot of it, you can't blame teachers when they have schools with so many kids in a classroom. It's inevitable. You're going to have some fall behind. You're going to have some get way ahead. So there weren't many opportunities in our community for like a private setting or a smaller class learning environment. So what she's created is 10 kids or less per teacher, learning things that are important to them. A few things that were important to me. I had a couple deal breakers, and I took them to her. Like, look, I want these kids to learn history. I got a godson. I remember when he was 16 years old, he was at the house, and I had a World War II documentary on because I'm old and I like that shit. And he had no clue who Hitler was and what all that was about. It was like they completely just brazed over it, and I feel like history repeats itself in the worst way, if we don't educate ourselves to it and remember how bad things are, So history was important for me, for them to learn. I also wanted them to spend a bunch of time outside, like and at the farm. Go to the farm, learn how to grow something, man. Learn how to fish, learn how to self-sustain. I feel like, as opposed to some of the things that society feels necessary to prioritize in education of children, we're losing sight of what we feel like is important for them to learn. So, it turned into kind of a service to the community. It's nothing that's going to put you in another tax bracket. That school doesn't. It's literally designed to hopefully break even and hire teachers. She's been completely selfless about it, man. She blows my mind on a daily basis, and to be walking around as pregnant as she is right now and still killing it at the school, it's been crazy to watch. My life's pretty crazy, but I look at what she's doing, and man, I'm her biggest fan. She's the rock star to me.
Dude, that's unbelievable. That just threw a curveball to me. I didn't know any of that. Number one, the school's in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, anything that I can do to help, because I'm especially on we need to teach the kids on just how to grow and be self-sustainable when it comes to at least your food, like whether it's a garden or something. So if there's anything that we can sponsor and help, fiscally, please,
Absolutely.
let us know. I love that. I had no idea about that.